You are standing in a hole in the Egyptian desert, in front of a sealed stone door that has not been opened in 3,000 years. You chip a small gap in the corner. You hold up a candle, and the air that comes sighing out past your face is the air that was sealed in with a dead king. You breathe it in. Everybody does, and within a year, some of the people standing beside you will be dead. Welcome to the Horror Hub. Today's monster, the Curse of Tutankhamun. November 1922. An archaeologist named Howard Carter had been digging in the Valley of the Kings for years, running out of money and patience, when his team uncovered a step cut into the rock, then another, then a sealed door. Behind it was the thing every archaeologist on Earth had given up on finding, a pharaoh's tomb the robbers had never emptied. Asked if he could see anything, Carter said yes, wonderful things. The dig was paid for by an English aristocrat called Lord Carnarvon, and Carnarvon was not a well man. A car crash years earlier had left him fragile, with lungs that had never been strong since. He came out to see the tomb, and he stood inside it. A few weeks later, a mosquito bit him on the cheek, and while shaving, he cut the top clean off the bite. It got infected. The infection became blood poisoning. The blood poisoning became pneumonia, and on the 5th of April 1923, Carnarvon died in a hotel room in Cairo. And that is the moment this stopped being a story about archaeology. Because they said that when he died, every light in Cairo went out at once. And they said that back in England, at that same hour, his little dog lifted its head, howled, and fell over dead. The newspapers went off like a bomb. They printed the curse itself, an inscription they said was carved at the door of the tomb. Death shall come on swift wings to him that toucheth the tomb of a pharaoh. And the loudest voice backing it, my favorite detail in this whole story, was Arthur Conan Doyle, the man who invented Sherlock Holmes, the creator of the most coldly logical character in fiction, went to the press to explain that an evil spirit had killed Lord Carnarvon. After that, every death anywhere near the dig became evidence. A visitor, a financier, Carnarvon's own half-brother. Once a story is that good, everything looks like proof. So let us do the thing nobody bothered to do at the time. Let us actually count. Start with the curse itself. That inscription is not in the tomb. It is not carved on the door, it is not carved anywhere at the site, and it never was. Carter said so flatly, and nobody who was actually there ever recorded seeing it. And then there was the fact that quietly ends the whole argument. Howard Carter, the man who found the tomb, broke the seal, went in first, opened the coffins, and stood closer to that dead king than any other living person. He lived another 17 years. He died in his 60s of an ordinary illness in his own bed. Later, an Egyptologist counted the people present when the tomb was opened. Of the 26, 6 died in the following decade, which for that era is grimly unremarkable. And decades after that, a doctor ran the whole thing as a proper medical study. The Westerners who went into the tomb died at an average age of 70. The ones who never went in died at 75. That gap is statistically nothing. There was no curse. Except, here is the part that puts the hair back up on your arms. A sealed room is a beautiful place to grow mold, and one thing that grows happily in old sealed tombs is a fungus called aspergillus. Crack that seal and you put its spores straight into the air you are breathing. Take in enough of them, with lungs already weak, and it can absolutely kill you. It has a nickname now. They call it the Pharaoh's curse fungus, and it earned that name. When a king's tomb was opened in Poland in the 1970s, most of the team that went inside was dead within weeks, and when they finally tested that crypt, the fungus was all over it. Which brings us to the ending nobody sees coming. A few years ago, scientists took that exact fungus, the Pharaoh's curse. They pulled a brand new family of molecules out of it and engineered them into something that attacks leukemia cells. The thing that came out of that tomb and put men in the ground is being turned right now into medicine. So no, a boy king did not sit up in the dark and take his revenge, but something did come out of that tomb with them. It was real, it was in the air, and nobody in that chamber knew they were breathing it, which is somehow worse. Subscribe, new monster every week, and maybe do not breathe too deeply in old rooms.